Do what thou wilt should be the whole of the law. Frauder Atreus Horus with Lance and Grail Priory TTO. And doing a little something different today. This is not going to be on anything new or rare. Fortunately, everything I'm going to be opening today I've got off Amazon, except for one item. But we're definitely going to carry on a theme here, and today it's going to be Chaos Magic. And I just want to start off with, I don't know if you're aware or not, but Tommie Kelly, an artist and author, put out a set of Servitor cards called the 40 Servants deck. You can find it on his website. I believe it's called adventuresinwoowoo.com. I'll put a link down in the description if you're interested. But first, I'd like to show off. I bought a laminated print of one of the servants from his 40 Servants deck. Excuse me. This is the Librarian. She is now my patron servant tour of my library. This one, and it is signed by Tommie. Shipped, mailed straight from Dublin, Ireland, so I'm excited to have this. She has a prominent place in a small little shrine in my library. She is my, not only the guardian of my library, but she also helps me to find anything and everything occult related in print or in digital format that I could possibly want. And I've worked with her as a servitor from the deck itself, but then everything was just going so well, as you can probably see from my book unboxing videos I've put up this year, that I decided to go ahead and get a big print, larger print of her, and make her my patron servitor, who is always on display in a place of veneration. But definitely say hello. And she sits right up here in front of my screen while I'm doing these unboxings now. So give Tommie Kelly, if you never heard of him, check him out. I hadn't heard of him in all the years I've spent in the occult until, I don't know, 6 or 8 months ago. And then he's one of those guys that I finally run across and was like, oh my god, how have I not heard of this guy before? But definitely check him out. So on that note, let's get on with the unboxing here. Let's see. Like I said again, these are all books that I've recently purchased off Amazon. They are still in print. They aren't anything super rare or special, but they're Chaos Magic. Let's start off with Peter Carroll here in his Octavo, a Sorcerer-Scientist Grimoire. I don't know if you know a lot about Peter Carroll. He was a founder of the Illuminates of Thanateros. He wrote Librarian and Psychonaut, Liber Chaos, the Psychonomicon, Cyber Magic, and the Epoch. He is one of the fathers of Chaos Magic, among a couple of other authors that we will see books from in this episode. Give a little quick view of the table of contents there. You know, I've never really done a lot with Chaos Magic per se. Oh, we've got some nice mathematical formulas here. At least Chaos Magic as it was originally written about, but I think ultimately, once you've been in the practice for long enough, all your magic, unless you like just really strictly stick to one school of thought whether that be Crowley or Grimoire work or Buddhism or what have you. I think eventually everyone comes to develop their own kind of semi-chaos magic system. So I decided to pick up a few books that have come out in the last couple of years that I haven't had in my collection yet. Of course, I've had the foundational texts of chaos magic for a long time. These crazy the mathematical formulas here. This is going to be an interesting one. I've had the foundational documents of chaos magic, if you will, for a long time. But a few, well, let's just say the books that I'm going to be unboxing here shortly come on my radar just kind of recently. So I thought it would be interesting to make an episode that just focused on chaos magic. Assassin pieces for Sorcerer's chest. That's interesting. Is that kind of like the Golden Dawn's Enochian chest? You know, when I ordered this on Amazon, it said it was the large print edition, so I was afraid it was going to be something like one of those old Reader's Digest where everything is large enough that anybody with 10/20 vision could read across the room without their glasses on. Doesn't look like that to be the case. This looks like a fascinating little book. The Octavo Round World Edition. There's the back of it if you want to pause and check that out. So this one was published in, I was going to say it's kind of old. It's put out by Mandrake in Oxford. 2011. Yeah, so this has been on my wish list, and I took it off and I put it back on, and I took it off and I put it back on. So I decided with some other books we're going to see here shortly that it was worth going ahead and getting a copy and checking it out. So there's the Octavo by Peter J. Carroll. Let's see. The other stuff I have here, I have multiple shipments from Amazon that contain not only books I'm going to do for this episode, but some books I have for a subsequent episode, so I'm going to have to go through here. Okay, so now we have a couple of books here by Ray Sherwin, another one of the fathers of chaos magic. Let's start here with Vitriol, a very chaotic scrapbook. Vitriol is the scrapbook autobiography of musician and magician Ray Sherwin, set against the backdrop of deceits, treacheries, and subversions perpetrated against the people of the world by their own governments, by the central banks, the United Nations, and the World Health Organization during his own lifetime and that of his father. So this is kind of a... when was this published exactly? 2015. First edition. I just want to say that this... other subjects include the vaccination scam, how real medicine has been subverted by Big Pharma, and the deliberate mess that multiculturalism and instructions on how to make cannabis oil. That's kind of apropos, given our current state of things here in late 2021. Not saying that I agree or disagree, But just saying. Just saying. I think this is kind of a Ray Sherwin's autobiography slash reflections on chaos magic. It kind of, he's got a lot of links to YouTube videos in here. It looks like, excuse me, a second. Looks like it could end up being a little bit of conspiratorial here, but definitely has a lot of YouTube video links. That's interesting. Let's get a little shot of the first few pages. Vitriol, or the Moving Finger. A very chaotic autobiographical scrapbook by Ray Sherwin. The moving finger writes, and having writ, moves on, nor all thy piety nor wit shall lure it back to cancel half a line, nor all thy tears wash out a word of it. Number 51 of the Rubaiyat of Omar Khayyam, translated by Edward Fitzgerald and published in 1858. I like that. I like it already. There's the table of contents. Don't know how well that's going to focus. Oh, interesting. Chapter 1, it's all about control. Chapter 2, Chaos Magic, Thelema, OT History, Names Named. That's going to be interesting. 3 is Health, the Vaccination Scam, Cannabis Oil, the Real Hero. How the Rockefeller Institute subverted real medicine. How pharmaceutical drugs are a self-perpetuating market which hides the medicines at work. Chapter 4, Scientology, but not as we know it, a personal experience. If you guys know anything about me or watched any of my videos, I've been very interested and fascinated by Scientology for a long time. Had a video where I unboxed The Two Antichrists by Scarlet Imprint. It's a book about L. Ron Hubbard and Jack Parsons. Has a lot of Scientology. I mean, L. Ron Hubbard has a lecture he gave where it's actually in a recording. You can find it and actually hear him say it. You don't have to rely on a transcript. Where he mentioned his good friend Aleister Crowley, even though Crowley and Hubbard never met or had any correspondence with each other. Hubbard name-dropped Crowley in his early years of Scientology, so there's a lot there between Scientology and Thelema and just magic in general that's interesting to look at. Anyway, back to the table of contents here. Feeding the mind, multi-culti, what the fuck, pedastry, the new method of control. There's a video by a guy, I can't remember his name off the top of my head, that was in the IoT, that put a lot of the IoT people on blast as being into pederasty. If you know what that means, I'll just leave it at that, as to not anger the YouTube gods. But it looks like Ray Sherwin here may have shined a little light in the dark corners of that on himself. Wow, this is like totally not what I thought it was going to be. He has a lot of links to YouTube videos in here. This is like some very conspiratorial stuff. The Lockerbie bombing was not carried out by the Libyans. What did I see? A link to a video about the Clinton Foundation. Link here about what really happened on 9/11. Here it is, the Clinton Chronicles. Wow, this is, yeah. Even for a Chaos Magician. This seems like it's kind of out there. But it's funny how someone could, what is this, 6 years ago, be writing a book that has about the vaccination scam. Again, if you're watching this post 2021, definitely go back and read about, learn about the coronavirus and the vaccine mandates, and yeah, that's the thing about Magick. It's timeless, and the truths. Some truths carry on through time immemorial. Vitriol by Ray Sherwin. Another book by Ray here, the Ouroboros, a Grimoire by Ray Sherwin, illustrated by Lorraine Sherwin. Not sure what this is either entirely. Ray's Book of Results was the first book dedicated to the magical technique of sigilization. His theater of magic makes the first mention of chaos as a new approach to cultism. I luckily have a copy of both of those. The Cardinal Rites of Chaos. I don't think I have that. Let's see here. The Singing Tadpole. Haven't heard of that. His books Aromatic Orals and Vitriol followed, punctuated by the albums of music. Ouroboros is another exploration, one in which the reader is invited to stroll the avenues of improbability and to navigate the inner landscapes which inspire and enable a sorcery not dependent on medieval buffoonery, imaginary friends, or ritual. I can't say I've ever seen a picture of Ray Sherwin before. But these, there's a couple books here I'm definitely going to look up that I wasn't aware of. But this is supposed to be a new Chaos Grimoire. Oh, beautiful. Looks like it's printed in color. Here, I believe. Yeah, here we go. First edition 2017 is limited to 500 copies. No further copies will be issued. I did get this off Amazon new. So if you're interested and this holds true, you may want to get out and grab you a copy. Here's a review of the table of contents. This one is kind of in a large print. I am no longer a young man. Age brings with it a wider perspective on most matters if one has been paying attention. Magic is no exception. Never having been a teacher of or an instructor in magical technique, I write about my experiences largely to crystallize my own thoughts, although I'm always pleased when other people enjoy reading them. You know, yesterday was my birthday, and I am quickly approaching the half of millennium mark, so that definitely does hold true for me too. Never been a teacher, but I appreciate when people enjoy the things that I have to write or say, especially watching these videos of me opening books and talking about them. And age and wisdom do definitely give you a different perspective on things. If you don't believe me, just wait. Wait and your time will come. This also looks very interesting. I like how it's in color. Some nice color art here. Wow, between this and Vitriol, there's going to be a lot to unpack. I have a feeling this is opening a rabbit hole. For sure. But you know, this guy could just be an off-the-wall kook who is just writing a bunch of nonsense. You never know. I mean, you know, those are the chances you take. But again, to each his own. I may or may not find it valuable. You may or may not find it valuable, but in the end, I'm a firm believer in everyone making that decision for themselves, and at least acquiring and maintaining a library of as much as I possibly can to allow people the opportunity to read and make the decision for themselves. But here is Ouroboros. No, this box here is going to have quite a few books in it for a subsequent video. Or maybe a previous video. I'm not 100% sure in what order these are going to be posted. So, the first one here is going to be literally the Pocket Osman Spare. Little tiny book. Wish I had a banana for scale. This is supposed to be, as it says, the Pocket Spare. It's a lot smaller than I thought it was going to be. 2020, first edition. This contains the Anathema of Zos, the Book of Pleasure, the Focus of Life, and the Formula of Vos Thanatos. As you may or may not be aware, Spare is pretty much considered the father, if not grandfather, of chaos magic. It was through his art and his alphabet of desire that we have what we know as sigil magic today. Well, this is a neat little book. I like this. I don't think I have any individual. There we go. This is some of his techniques of sigilization. I don't think I have any books just by Spare himself. Which is probably something I should correct as soon as possible. So much of his stuff is out of print and expensive. Not that that's ever stopped me in the past. So definitely, I saw this on Amazon. I thought, hey, that sounds great. This is more of his sigilization. I'll pick up a copy. If nothing else, because it does contain a couple of his more well-known works in one book here. Working on the cutting edge of both magic and art. Let me not get too deep into a rant on that, but as Crowley said, magic is the art and science. And there's, I have very strong feelings on both the art and the science that is involved in successful magic. Working on the cutting edge of both magic and art, Osman Spare developed a unique synthesis of older ritual magic systems with postmodern, erotic, and surrealist themes. His theory of magic eschews complex formula and ritual to favor creativity, spontaneity, and ecstasy, embracing artistic expression and alternating sexualities. Collected here are some of Spare's most important works. Though dense and esoteric, these texts bear repeated study by serious occultists, for they speak to the human drives that make real magic possible. Word. Just to throw a few names out there as far as art in the magical field, if you're not aware of, look into Rosaline Norton and Michael Berdio. And I do have a two-part episode on the works of Michael Berdio coming up. So if you're interested in that, definitely stay tuned and look for that. And there's a little chaos magic symbol down here. Very good. And next we have Hine's Varieties, Chaos and Beyond by Phil Hine. Another one of the founding fathers of modern chaos magic. From the world-famous occultist Phil Hine comes this amazing collection of esoteric essays, divided thematically into sections: chaos magic, tantra, sexualities, practice, paganisms, histories, and fiction. So this is a nice little collection of Phil Hine essays here. I will assume they're all from Phil Hine. I love, love, love books that are collections of essays. Let me see, there some of the sections here, table of contents. I just love reading essays. So this is going to be fascinating. So have I gotten all the old masters represented here? I've got Ray Sherwin, I've got Phil Hine, I've got Peter J. Carroll. Only one I don't have is Ramsey Dukes, but I think I already have everything Ramsey Dukes ever wrote and published already, so I don't have anything new from him to open. But definitely, if you're interested in chaos magic, they are the fathers and grandfathers of chaos magic. This is interesting. This is going to be so cool. This, and I'm just like, I'm still hung up on this spare book I have over here. And, of course, I'll save the best for last. I've got this massive box here. I've got to... Give me a second. It's going to take me a minute to get this opened up and unwrapped here. My good friends over at Weiser, who are well known for their very, very thorough packaging. So it's going to it might take me a minute to get this unwrapped and unraveled. Alright. Just so you know, some of these books I have been sitting on for the better part of a month or so. As I try to set up a theme on these videos here, so they're not just all random videos on multiple subjects in one video. I like to clean them out when possible. I've been sitting on a few of these for a couple of months until I had enough stuff to put a video together. And this is one of them. This was the book that I had found first that inspired me to say, you know what? Let's make a video on Chaos Magic. Let's find all the new stuff on Chaos Magic that I don't have yet and make a video. So, from what I'm anticipating is going to be extremely interesting. And again, you can't fault Weiser for their packaging. I think this stuff is, their packaging would survive a nuclear holocaust, I believe. Here we go. And we have another work here by Peter J. Carroll. Epoch. The Portals of Chaos. So this is a book in card set. I hope it doesn't disappoint you, but I don't plan on unwrapping these cards since they are sealed. This is a beautiful symbol. This was published by Arcanorium College. Spring Equinox 2014, printed in the UK. This is a beautiful hardbound book, and it comes with these set of cards. Again, there will remain a mystery as to what they actually look like because I'm not going to unwrap them. But we will take a look at the book here. I don't believe this was a limited edition. I think the first may have been signed, I'm not 100% sure. And then they released a second printing. This doesn't say what edition it is. The Esotericon and Portals of Chaos. Oh yeah, okay, it's coming back to me now. This is a 3-part. Very nice. Very nice. The paper it's printed on is slick. It's like a 3-part grimoire. Yeah, here we go. The first part is on elemental magic. The second part is planetary magic. And the third part is stellar magic. Realm of the elements, the circle of imaginary forces. The realm of the gods, the sphere of imaginary allies. The realm of the elder guards, the hypersphere of imaginary adversaries. So you start off with the elements, move into the planets, and on to the elder gods of the Cthulhu Gnosis, or Cthulhu. Not Gnosis. Cthulhu Gnosis is probably a Freudian slip there. The Cthulhu Mythos is the word I was looking for. And then of course the cards are also split into elementary, planetary, and elder gods. Wow, this book is beautiful. Can't remember exactly where I stumbled upon this, but I was lucky enough to find a copy for sale with the cards. And then once I was able to acquire it, I decided to, oh, this is interesting. Decided to go ahead and pick up some other Chaos Magic related stuff I didn't have. This is a very nice book. I mean, just the book itself is beautiful. Very well put together and printed. Odin, Thoth, Mott, Athena, Lucifer, Apophenia, Isis. Now you might be able to see, but here on this side it has a list of all the planets that these correspond to. Osiris, Karanzan, Baron Samedi, Kali, Anubis, Hecate, Jupiter. This is very, very pantheistic. Thor, Yod-Heh-Vav-Heh, Juno, Vulcan, Dionysus, Mars, Horus. Ah, I love that. Eris, Loki, Ishtar. Wow, this is beautiful. Sol, BVG and Child. I guess that's the BVG. The Blessed Virgin something? Papa Legba, or as he's called here, Bob Legba. Ashera, Venus, Pandora, Babylon, Mercury, Paradolia, I'm not familiar with her, the Moon, wow, this is fantastic. On to the Stellar Magic, the Necronomicon, some sigil work, and on to the Necronomicon. Hotep, the Invocation of Nyarlathotep, Cthulhu, the Invocation of Cthulhu, Shub-Niggurath, Hester, Yog-Sothoth, Ezothoth, well, we can definitely say in this case I saved the best for last. This is Giordano Bruno, Samuel Liddell Mathers, Aleister Crowley, Lovecraft, Kenneth Grant, Peter J. Carroll, Matt Cabrion. Oh wow. This kind of good. Yeah, look at how this combines all kinds of stuff. You can see this here. References: Complete Golden Dawn System of Magic, Book of Pleasure, Magic in Theory and Practice, The Magical Revival, Sword of Wisdom, The Complete Works of H.P. Lovecraft, On the Reality of the Quantum State, The Book of Baphomet. This is one of the most beautiful books I've had the pleasure of unboxing in a long time. Wow, this is just a gorgeous book. I love how it builds from the elements into the planetary, into the gods that represent the different planets, into full-blown into Necronomicon and Lovecraftian mythos. This is fascinating. Wow. Peter J. Carroll, Epoch. Matt Cabrion is the illustrator. And then it comes with this awesome deck of cards, the Portals of Chaos, that are used to work with the system in this book here. Very, very interesting. With Phil Hine's Variety of Chaos and Beyond, Ouroboros by Ray Sherwin, The Pocket Austin Osman Spare, Vitriol by Ray Sherwin, and the Octavo by Peter J. Carroll. Nice little haul of Chaos Magic stuff here. But, I mean, what else can I say? Definitely. This looks fascinating because of all the mathematical stuff he has in here. I'm just really interested to see how he applies that to magic. This is going to be full of some really crazy ideas. This, not even sure what to think about this after taking a look at this. A book of essays by Phil Hine. Love me some essays. Got the Pocket Spare here to cover some of the basics of his work. And then this beautiful book, Epic, and the cards. Wow, this was a lot more than I'd anticipated. Definitely. Definitely a lot more than I anticipated. But I'm glad you could be here with me while I was opening everything, and I'm looking forward into digging into this and checking it out for sure. This is fantastic. Until next time, stay safe, and love is the law. Love under will. See you next time.